Week 2, we have the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals playing Thursday night, and it kind of sets that Thursday night trend of not the greatest games. I do think that there could be some intrigue from that if both teams are playing up to par. But as far as marquee games, that's not one that I'm super enthralled with. Also, the New England Patriots play against the Seahawks on Sunday Night Football, that Super Bowl rematch. That's going to be a good one, too. Two strong organizations. But then you think about it, and it's like, okay, no Tom Brady. What are the Patriots looking like?
They got a ton of primetime games for some reason still.
They love
I think
them.
it's just a fan base thing, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Thursday night game, it all depends on what happens. Like, if Joe Burrow comes out and beats his first game versus the Chargers, sorry, Jamar.
It's not happening.
But and then the more unrealistic one is somehow Baker Mayfield takes it to the Ravens. Like,
Right.
if those two teams both win week 1 and they're super exciting games week 1, then week 2, I'm all in on that game.
Well,
but other than that, if one team loses,
Well, I think that the more interesting thing is if they both lose, which is more reasonable, right? The Chargers probably should beat the Bengals. The Ravens should beat the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
They're both coming 0-1. How hard is this Baker Mayfield seat?
Should be
He's got to win it, obviously. That's a big
Yeah.
game for him. If he can't beat Joe Burrow in week 2 of his career, they're in more trouble than anyone's going to.
Yeah, I think he has a little bit of a scapegoat with Stefanski being a first-year coach, but I completely agree. Like, he's definitely in a not comfy place.
So what I'll say is, I don't think the seat is hot in that game, but the next game is the Redskins. They can't go 0-3. They can't go 0-3. And with 2 winnable games, because the first one against the Ravens is pretty tough, but you can't lose to the Bengals and lose to the Redskins.
They actually probably should have to win both of them.
Yeah,
Because
they
then they're
should.
going to go Cowboys and then Colts.
And those
And
are
then
2
back
strong.
to the Bengals again.
Yeah, and those are 2 of the better looking teams, at least on paper.
The only other thing I got for week 2 is it'll be a media frenzy, is Rams-Eagles. Jared Goff versus Carson Wentz, number 1 QB versus number 2. The Eagles won a Super Bowl. Carson didn't play. The Rams, obviously, Jared Goff lost in the Super Bowl, but took them there. It'll be a press frenzy for sure.
Yeah.
Of those 2 teams, the Eagles have really helped out Wentz a lot more, at least in terms of building a team around him. The Rams got all those players, and now they've sold everyone off, cut everyone, and he's going to have to carry that team.
Well, I think the Rams tried. I think that they just did the I'm gonna push all my chips into the table, and somebody called their bluff, and at that point, now you're trying to rebuild, and they're trying to rebuild in a way where they maintain the fan base and not like just completely, gut the rosters. Like we talked about the NFC draft review, and they took 4 or 5 quality players, but all at positions where they're not likely to start. And so, if they move all those starters this year and next year, they can kind of reset the deck. So,